Well, let's bring in now Oleksiy Goncharenko in Kiev. He's a member of the Ukrainian Parliament. Really good to have you with us, Oleksiy. As we heard there from our correspondent, the war in Gaza is now competing for US assistance and, frankly, US attention. Are you worried that perhaps this conflict in Gaza will take away some of the much needed resources that Ukraine needs to fight Russia?
Definitely, not only in the United States, but throughout the whole world. What's going on in Middle East now is on the first pages, and Ukraine, unfortunately for us, is not so much covered like it was before. But we believe that our allies and partners, they can continue support our country, and they are able to do it despite other needs that they have. And the visit of Secretary Austin is one of the signs of this. We hope that in the nearest days and weeks there will be decision in U.S. Congress about new package of support to Ukraine. In general, with all respect to what's going on in the Middle East, it is clear that what's going on today in Ukraine is still very much very important for everybody because the international order and international law is at stake. And if Russia will not be stopped in Ukraine, there will be definitely new conflicts and new wars in the region, from which all other countries will suffer, including Black Sea countries.
Yes, and we know that winter is approaching in Ukraine, and there was a lot of expectation on the summer offensive launched by Ukrainian forces a few months ago. But a lot of analysts have said that the progress that's being made by Ukrainian forces has been, frankly, disappointing. What's your assessment at how Ukraine's defenses are currently going in its war with Russia?
We became a victim of our own success last year when, the world was waiting that Ukraine would fail in several days or weeks and after Russian full-scale attack. But we survived and we managed to not just to stop Russians, but to reconquer a big chunk of our territory. And all these created expectations that this year offensive of Ukrainian forces can be so successful. But in reality, let us be frank, we fight with one of the strongest armies in the world, which is Russian, and they were preparing for the war for decades. Russia is much bigger from all points of view, from point of view of size, population, economy, and all other things. And the fact that after 20 months of Russian full-scale invasion, we are in offensive and we are liberating some of our territories is a huge success itself. So I think that there were over expectations on this campaign, which were not, by the way, supported by enough weaponry from our allies. And the result is that our successes during this offensive are very limited. Yeah, and many people, like you said, they feel themselves disappointed. But I just want to remind you, let us come back to February 2022. Would anybody tell that in 20 months Ukraine will be in offensive, Russia will be in defense, and Ukraine managed to liberate a big part of its territory? I think it's almost as a miracle, but many people just got used to it.
Okay, Oleksiy Goncharenko, we will have to leave it there, but we really do appreciate your analysis. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.